Hello everyone, welcome to another session of Tika Talks Food. If you haven't already done so, do hit the subscribe button. Today I'm going to talk about one of the world's most favorite beverages, coffee. Coffee is a very simple beverage, but it's attached with a lot of complex emotion and compounds. Caffeine is the most studied component of coffee, but coffee actually contains hundreds of substances such as vitamins, minerals, polyphenols, and flavonoids that contribute to its properties as a drink. Okay, so today I'll talk about some of the benefits of coffee drinking and then the negative aspects of coffee drinking and how you can individually find out the right amount of coffee for you. Let's start with the benefits of coffee drinking. So coffee drinkers are associated with a reduction in many diseases such as Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, liver cancer, prostate cancer, and even a reduction in depression specifically among women. Coffee drinkers also seem to be associated with having a lower risk of mortality overall, meaning people who drink more coffee seem to live longer. Now, it is important that I caveat this, that these are average numbers and these are associations. It's hard to know if it's the coffee drinking itself or if there are other aspects of their lives that are contributing to some of these positive outcomes. Nonetheless, these are all really good things to be associated with. Number 2, coffee is a very cheap and easily available stimulant. Studies have shown that coffee can boost brain function and also boost metabolic function. And it's a very cheap and easily available form of stimulant compared to some of the other expensive energy drinks that are out there that also tend to contain a lot of additives and sugar. So a cup of black coffee can actually serve as a great pick-me-up before, like a meeting or before exercise or anything like that. The third component of coffee is a great mood booster. So, this is a little bit difficult to explain whether it's the caffeine or some of the polyphenols and flavonoids that are in coffee that are helping boost the mood. But it does probably explain why a lot of us can't really function during the day, or our coworkers tend to notice if we haven't had our morning cup of coffee, our mood might not be as good. So these are all great positive aspects of coffee. Now, before I talk about the negative aspects of coffee, I do want to talk to you about the liver detox enzyme that is in charge of metabolizing caffeine, and that is P451A2. It's a mouthful, so for short, it's also called CYP1A2. Now, the variation of this enzyme will determine whether you are a slow metabolizer or a fast metabolizer of caffeine. Why is this relevant? Well, slow metabolizers of caffeine tend to get more of the negative effects of caffeine because caffeine tends to linger in their system a lot longer. So if someone is a slow metabolizer, the caffeine can actually stick around in their body for 2 to 10 hours, where a fast metabolizer might be able to clear it out within an hour. Now, they actually did a study comparing slow metabolizers of caffeine with fast metabolizers of caffeine with the same amount of caffeine consumption, and the slow metabolizers were actually associated with higher occurrence of high blood pressure and other heart-related complications. So this is quite relevant and important. So if you're a slow metabolizer, you might actually be more likely to get some of those negative aspects of coffee drinking, such as anxiety, increase in jitteriness, and sleep disruption. And if you had watched, my video on sleep, you know that sleep disruption is associated with a lot of other negative impacts on metabolic health, okay? The second issue with coffee consumption. Most of us tend to consume coffee with meals, and caffeine is shown to interfere with nutrient absorption, specifically with important nutrients such as iron and calcium, which are very important for bodily functions. So if we are drinking coffee consistently in the long run with meals, it can actually cause a lot of nutrition deprivation, just by that practice alone. So that's not a great component of coffee consumption either. The other negative aspect of coffee consumption is actually the occurrence of acid reflux. So if you are someone who has acid reflux, coffee consumption can actually worsen it because coffee consumption triggers the production of gastrin, and so that can actually cause more reflux to occur. Now, how do we deal with all of this information? Number one, if you did want to find out if you're a slow or a fast metabolizer of caffeine, you can do so by getting something like a 23andMe test or a direct-to-consumer nutrigenomics test that can help you determine whether you're slow or fast metabolizer of caffeine. And that can help you understand whether you should be one of those that should really pay attention to reducing your caffeine consumption. Now, if you are not able to do any of that and you just want to reduce caffeine consumption, you can start by simply at least swapping out your second or third coffee of the day with decaf. Decaffeinated coffee is 97% caffeine free, and it will still contain all of those other beneficial flavonoid and polyphenol components of coffee that's actually really good for you. So you may be able to get the best of both worlds by doing that. The third thing you can do is basically make sure that you are timing your caffeinated beverages away from your meals. So if you're gonna have a meal, try to have coffee maybe an hour before or at least an hour after the meal so that it's not interfering with the nutrient absorption from the meal itself. So let me know in the comment section if this was useful for you, and let me know if caffeine has actually had, a unique impact on you, or if there are other beverages that you use to keep you going during these cold days that we're entering at the moment. Okay, take care, stay safe, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye.